It's time now to rest. Let your body begin to settle gently, just like a leaf floating down onto still water. Let your shoulders grow heavy. Your jaw softens, your hands and feet warm and weightless. The world is quiet here, and nothing is asked of you. Breathe in slowly. Feel the air, cool and comforting, like the hush of twilight wrapping around you. And as you breathe out, let the day drift away like petals on the breeze. You're safe here. You're calm. And it's time now to step softly into a different place. A softer world awaits just ahead. A garden behind castle walls, where time is not told by ticking clocks, but by the flowers themselves. Our story this evening begins at the edge of a stone garden path, just as the sky is turning to velvet. The castle of Lady Cecily sits upon a hill, an old ivy-wrapped keep overlooking quiet, rolling fields. It is neither too grand nor too humble, but just right for someone who prefers the music of birds to the sounds of court and the smell of fresh earth to polished marble. Feel the quiet air of the garden return to you. Smell the green, the faint touch of rosemary and clove. Let your body melt deeper into comfort, deeper into stillness, as if you too were a flower, folding slowly in the safety of nightfall. There is nothing more you need to do but drift and listen. Lady Cecily rises from her kneeling place, her hands dusted faintly with earth. She brushes them together, then smooths her gown, not out of vanity, but ritual, around her. The garden begins to whisper. The moths arrive first, white as parchment, soft as silk, fluttering low above the flower beds. Their wings beat silently, like the turning of pages in a dream. They are drawn to the moonflower, huge, pale blooms that open only in darkness, each petal spiraling outward, as if unfolding a secret. Lady Cecily stands before them in stillness. Her breath matches their rhythm. Slow in, slow out, like the waxy white petals opening one after another, silent and slow and sure. This is how she keeps time now. Not by bells or scrolls, but by bloom and breeze and the hush between wings. The air is cool, but not cold. It carries with it the hush of evening, that secret kind of quiet the world only knows after the sun is gone. Lady Cecily sits with her back against the trough, lantern light warming her cheek. Her eyes remain closed, but her senses are wide open. She hears the slow crackle of the candle flame, the faint hum of a cricket chorus awakening in the ivy, and far off, the sleepy toll of a distant bell, perhaps from the abbey beyond the ridge. 8 slow notes. Evening bell. The garden stirs in agreement, certain blooms curling tighter, others open wider. Their hour, finally here. A soft rustle from the left. That would be the evening campion, whose star-shaped petals only open once the light has left the sky. Beside it, the notch-leaf phlox, its blooms faintly glowing, almost ghost-like. It's no wonder Cecily thinks that poets and healers once believed moon-blooming flowers were touched by spirits or carried messages to dreaming minds. Your body is resting now, safe and still. Your mind, it's drifting gently on the hush of candlelight and cool garden breezes. Breathe and feel the scent of night-blooming flowers wrap around your thoughts like a silken shawl drawn over tired shoulders. There is nothing to do, no urgency, only this soft place, this quiet story, this turning of petals in the dark. Let's go back now to Lady Cecily. She's seated at midnight. The moon is high, a silver plate in the sky, rimmed with wisps of milk-white cloud. Its light falls across the sundial like spilled cream, and shadows vanish completely beneath its glow. Lady Cecily's eyes are half-lidded, her breathing even. She listens, not with her ears, but with her whole being around her. The garden murmurs in midnight tones. The datura has opened its trumpet like blooms wide, pale and faintly glowing in the moonlight. Your body is quiet now, as still as the garden stones. Let your breath remain slow, unfolding like moonlight across water. As we slip gently back into the story, you are floating between the hours, between waking and dreaming, between petals that whisper to the stars. And so is Lady Cecily. She releases the night blooming serious. Its blossoms still open, trembling softly like breath in winter air. It glows faintly in the moonlight, not with light of its own, but as if it remembers it. Lady Cecily turns away from the bench and begins the slow walk back up the winding path. She does not hurry. No part of this garden asks for haste. Each step falls softly onto moss-laced stone, the faintest crunch of gravel, and sometimes the brushing whisper of her gown against lavender stems. Above her, the sky is clear. The moon, higher now, casts shadows like silk lace across the hill. Stars cluster like frost, and far, far away, a nightingale begins to sing. Now your limbs are heavy, like soft cloths, soaked in warmth. Let yourself sink deeper into the dream, into the story, into the slow-turning petals of time. The world outside is far away. Only this garden remains, quiet, cool, and forever dusk. We are still beneath the pear tree where Lady Cecily rests, her head bowed slightly, hands resting open in her lap. The air here smells faintly of pear skin, moss, and something older, something like parchment or pressed flowers long tucked into a book. Her eyes flutter, just once. She is not yet dreaming, but her body is still her thoughts. Slow, her breath deep. Above her, the wind stirs the branches, and moonlight slips through the leaves in a silver dancing lightly across her shoulder. And for just a moment, it seems the tree hums softly in return. A slow, low tone, not made by sound, but felt. Let your eyelids stay soft as though kissed by sleep. Let the world beyond the story dissolve, like sugar in warm tea. No effort, no need, just drifting. And in the garden's dream, Lady Cecily sleeps on. In the second layer of dreaming, things grow quieter still. No sound here, only sensation. The moss beneath her is no longer just moss. It becomes memory, warmth, and comfort. Above her, the sky glows gently, not with stars, but with the shimmer of unopened blossoms. Each one pulses faintly, like the heartbeat of the sky itself. Time no longer ticks. It breathes. From somewhere beyond the garden, a door creaks open, a sound not loud, but deliberate, like a page turning in a heavy book. Cecily rises in the dream and finds herself at a long corridor of archways, made of woven branches. Vines drape like curtains, moss carpets the floor, and at the first arch, a memory appears. Her father's voice, deep and distant, reciting a bedtime poem he never quite finished, always stopping just before the end, smiling as if to say, some endings should be yours to dream. Let your shoulders loosen, your jaw go slack, your thoughts fall like slow snowflakes. Everything is soft, everything is steady. Inhale, a garden breeze. Exhale, a drifting sigh. Let's return to where dream and earth begin to touch again. The garden of dreams recedes, not in retreat, but in farewell, like a friend stepping quietly behind a curtain. Still close, but no longer seen. Lady Cecily's breath changes. Her lashes flutter, and the garden of waking returns. She is beneath the pear tree, exactly where she had been, her back still resting against the curved trunk, her hands now warmed by the morning sun beginning to rise. The sky above her is pale blue, like watered milk. The first rays of gold stretch long shadows across the gravel. The air is cool on her skin, but soft as linen. Cecily stretches, slowly, like a cat waking on a windowsill. Her joints crack lightly, but with comfort, a reminder that she is whole. The halls of the castle are still sleepy when Lady Cecily steps inside. The heavy wooden doors hush behind her, and the sound of her slippers on the stone echoes faintly like a lullaby. No one rushes to greet her. They know her rhythms. They know the hour she keeps with the flowers. When she reaches her chamber, sunlight already pours like liquid gold across the floor. She sits by the casement, no hurry to dress, no pressure to be more than what she is. From here, she watches the far edge of her garden, where the beeches bend ever so slightly in greeting. On the table beside her, a letter lies folded, a pale green wax seal still intact. a raven stamped into it. From her cousin in the north, perhaps, or from the scribe she once met at the bishop's archive, who liked to tuck pressed flowers between his notes. She does not open it yet. Instead, she runs her fingers along the edges, not rushing the mystery. Outside, the chimes ring once. It is the 9th hour. The chamomile will be opening soon. Cecily makes her tea herself, not because there is no one to do it for her, but because it is hers to make. It is now the 12th hour. The garden is glowing under the highest arc of sun. Not harsh, just still, like a cat asleep in a windowsill. Lady Cecily walks slower now. The gravel crunches gently beneath her feet. The breeze has quieted, like the breath of the world holding itself in. This hour, this golden middle of the day, is not for doing. It is for being, and so she simply is, a shape of calm among the bloom and buzz. The rosemary hedge offers its shade. Cecily stands beside it, fingers brushing the sprigs. She smiles faintly at the memory. Her mother used to whisper it like a spell whenever she watered the roots. Cecily leans closer, breathing in that clean, pine-like scent. It sharpens the edges of her thoughts, but gently, like the corner of a linen handkerchief damp with rosewater. The castle dreams, too, and holds her in return. Outside the tower, the entire castle seems to have sunk into sleep. Stone walls hum low, not in noise, but in memory. The walls remember her footsteps, the sweep of her gowns, the warmth of her presence, each passing hour. Now they hold her with gentleness, like arms made of earth and story. The night deepens, stars in full bloom. The sky above the tower is velvet now, deep as an ink, and the stars, they bloom too. Just as the petal clock closes below, the heavens open up. Constellations stretch softly across the dark like embroidery on a midnight shawl, each star a pinprick of time, a moment not lost, but waiting to be remembered when the mind is quiet enough. Lady Cecil does not count them. She only feels them, as if they are watching over her with soft, celestial eyes. The castle settles. As softly as a sigh, everything begins to still. The kitchen hearths are darkened. The bells are silent. Even the pages in the scriptorium have tucked their quills into ink, leaving their letters to sleep on half-finished scrolls. Somewhere, far down a corridor, a servant hums a lullaby. Half forgotten, it curls through the air like incense. Lady Cecily hears none of it directly, but she feels it, the way one feels a blanket settling over the feet just before sleep. She takes one last walk, not into the garden, but through the castle halls, a single lantern in her hand. It glows softly, not with urgency, but with a kind of kindness. Its light spills over stone walls, catching threads of old tapestries, waking faded gold thread, woven into griffins and curling vines. She passes by the portrait hall. Ancestors look down, stoic and silent, but in the lantern light, they seem less judgmental, more curious, as if watching over a dreamer, not a duty. The petal clock in the garden has whispered its last hour. As the sun dips below the horizon, the air grows thick with the scent of dusk, of jasmine, dusk rose, and soil. All around her, the flowers are closing their petals, folding into the velvet night. Lady Cecily sits alone in the firelight, watching the dance of the flames. She thinks of the day as it slips through her fingers like sand. A day measured not in hours, but in the opening and closing of flowers. A day that began with the scent of rain and ended with the sigh of the evening breeze. She pours herself a cup of tea, anise and chamomile, and holds it in both hands, feeling the warmth seep into her fingertips. Outside, a moth flutters against the window pane, a silent question mark in the gathering darkness, and as the last sliver of sunlight fades, leaving only the soft glow of the hearth, she knows that the night is here to hold her close, to whisper stories in her ear, stories as old as time and as timeless as the stars. When even the bees begin to slow, their wings hum lower, heavier, like a lullaby meant only for those still awake. In the heart of the garden, a round basin made of stone holds rainwater gathered from the sky. The water is still, smooth as silk, A petal floats upon it, pale pink, barely rippling. She kneels beside it, not to drink, not to clean, but simply to see, to witness her reflection, blurred and softened by the breeze, by time, by the memory of rain. She thinks, in this moment, how curious it is that some things move so swiftly, like dragonflies, like childhood, like grief, and yet some, like stones, or pear trees, or the steadiness of a well-tended garden, feel as though they belong to no clock at all. From the garden gate, a faint clatter, not alarming, not loud, like a child's toy dropped on cobblestone, like the wind bumping a loose shutter. Cecily rises, curious but unhurt.